Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas. Senator Cotton now joins me. Welcome back to Meet the Press, sir.
Morning, Chuck. Great to be on with you.
You heard both, I know, the David Cameron interview and the John Kerry interview. Let me just start with a specific when it comes to John Kerry and Congress. He said there is no need to delay the UN vote, that there's enough time built in to respect Congress's role in here. Do you agree?
No, Chuck, I disagree. I think it's regrettable that the administration is going to the United Nations first, as senior and influential Democrats like Ben Cardin and Steny Hoyer have said. But at bottom, the United States' sanctions are what's always been most important here, and I'm confident that the American people, as they learn more about this agreement, are repudiating it and that Congress will ultimately reject it.
Explain the fundamental divide here. It seems to me you have on one end the administration and many of the world powers who believe Iran is a regional power in the Middle East, and you have to just live with it and manage it. And there are opponents like yourself, Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel and Saudi Arabia, who say, no, Iran should not be a regional power, and all this deal does is give them more power. Is that the divide we're looking at here?
That's one of the fundamental divides, Chuck. Iran is a terror-sponsoring, anti-American outlaw regime. They've got the blood of hundreds of American soldiers and Marines on their hands. We should not be empowering such a regime to be a successful regional power. We should be confronting them in every way. This deal, though, gives them $150 billion of sanctions relief. It even lifts the conventional arms embargo and the ballistic missile ban, and ultimately, even if they obey every single detail of the deal, puts them on the path to be a nuclear weapon state in 8 to 10 years. And if you think Iran is going to change their behavior in a decade, I can tell you how unlikely that is. Because just 9 years ago, they were trying to kill me and my soldiers. We were lucky, but hundreds of other American troops were not.
So what was the argument? You heard it. You've heard the arguments from John Kerry, from David Cameron, which is the alternative was war. The alternative was a nuclear Iran. This, at least at a minimum, postpones the timeline for a decade. Isn't that better than nothing?
Well, unfortunately, Chuck, as I said, even if Iran obeys the deal, Iran is going to be a nuclear weapon state in just 10 years. I think we have to assume that they will cheat on the deal, though, and the inspection and verification and enforcement mechanisms, I believe, are too weak to do so. But in the end, I don't think it's a good thing to give such an outlaw regime nuclear weapons capability. But we are where we are, so the question is not really what was the alternative, what is the alternative. I think the alternative is for Congress to reject this deal and demand a better deal, to send our negotiators back to the table with the threat of both tougher sanctions and military force and get a better deal for the American people.
All right, and before I let you go, you're a veteran. What did you make of Donald Trump's comments on John McCain?
Well, I disagree with Mr. Trump's comments. John McCain is a great American. Everyone knows that he was a POW for over 5 years. But here's one thing that most people don't know about him. His dad was a senior admiral at the time he was a POW. And because of that, the Vietnamese offered him an opportunity for early release in direct violation of the Code of Conduct for prisoners of war. John McCain declined that early release and obeyed the Code of Conduct. So I think we all should respect and honor John McCain's service.
Do you think this makes Donald Trump unfit?
Like I said, I disagree with his comments, Chuck. I would recommend that he apologize and retract them and then get back to the campaign that he's been running on important issues like this Iran deal and the threat that it poses to the United States and the world.
All right. Tom Cotton, Republican from Arkansas. Appreciate you coming on and sharing your views, sir.
Thanks, Chuck.
Let me bring in